All right, here we are. Here we go. Ahead of tonight's State of the Union address, hanging out with us today, Ashley Davis, former George W. Bush White House official, Scott Bolden, NewsNation contributor and former D.C. Democratic Party chairman, Lauren Wright, the professor, Princeton University political scientist, Johanna Mosca, NewsNation contributor, former Obama official as well, and joining us remotely, Mick Mulvaney, former Trump White House chief of staff, NewsNation contributor as well. Hello, Mick. Hello to you all. Pretty big day here in Washington. Of course, we're awaiting the president's State of the Union address here momentarily. You all know how this works. Yeah. Whether there's a Republican White House or a Democratic White House, you put out in advance sort of the actions that the president will take later in the evening to drive the narrative, to drive the storyline. This is what the president's doing. And this is what was announced today. You could basically get a version of this headline anywhere you look, but here's the hill, obviously. Biden to announce U.S. military-led mission to build port on Gaza to boost aid. The White House coming out with a big announcement today on Gaza, but Ashley, nowhere to be found any headlines on the border, and we are hearing that the president will not be taking any executive actions, or at least announcing them tonight.
I mean, obviously, it's pretty tone deaf for the president not to talk about it, but I do think, to his defense, it's an issue that he's not going to win, and so he probably has nothing positive to say about it, so why draw attention? I mean, if you have a 165% increase of people crossing the border since you took office, and which totals 8 million people by Election Day, they're projecting, how do you talk about that if you've done nothing about it?
I take issue with that.
So we do expect him to talk about it, by the way. It's just not executive action, right?
Yes.
Exactly. And the first thing he did when he came to office is introduce comprehensive immigration reform. He has been asking for more immigration judges, for asylum cases to be expedited, for more assets for Border Patrol, for more resources. So he believes that he worked with Senate Republicans to get a deal, and that is the House that spiked that deal, and so they should be the ones saying why they've spiked that deal.
The only issue with that, on the House. I mean, they should not have held up. It was the best deal they possibly could have gotten, but why did Biden remain in Mexico?
Yeah,
why did he use executive action to dismantle Title 42?
And even build the wall.
Why
I know that's a horrible thing to say,
construction of the wall.
Yes.
Those things don't make sense,
Because
I think, to a lot of progressives or Republicans.
They may not make sense, but they don't work either. Holding them in Mexico is inhumane and didn't solve the problem unless you're going to invest in their countries where they're coming from.
2.5 million apprehensions
You increase
in the past
crime.
12 months and the
You
12
increase
months prior.
crime on the other side of the border. It's not a long-term
They've captured
solution.
them, and they are giving them a path to citizenship and a process, but the system is overwhelmed.
You know, we argue about this all the time, but if it's gone up 165% since you took office, those policies did work under Trump.
Yeah, but
remain
they
in
didn't
Mexico,
solve
to build the
the
wall.
issue.
They put the problem off.
Okay, so they didn't solve the issue. So why don't the Republicans pass something to stop fentanyl from coming in the country?
Mulvaney, come on in real quick, because here was Donald Trump earlier today, I guess a pre-buttal, you can say. Mick, I'll get your reaction on the other side, but first, here was Trump.
His actions prove his priority is to import a colossal new illegal alien population and let them all stay. My priority is securing our border and sending Crooked Joe's illegals back home. It's time to tell Crooked Joe Biden, you're fired.
All right, Nick, that was the quote-unquote pre-buttal from Trump today.
Yeah, you're going to expect to hear more and more of that, because the debate that you folks just had across the panel there is the debate that they're having in Washington, D.C., which is, could Biden do more by himself, and should Congress be doing something with Biden? I think you'll see that debate continue. But I'll be surprised what he says tonight about the border. I can't imagine that he will ignore it entirely. Keep in mind, Tom Suozzi won that special election in New York, running on closing the border. And I've got to wonder if the Democrats aren't looking at that and thinking that's where Biden needs to go as well. So I'll be curious to see what he says about it tonight.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.